So we're going to go longer in the backswing. There's the pull. There's the unload. And the left leg is going to keep me centered so it gives me time to unload it. Long, push, pull, swing. Let's give it a rip. Let's talk driver today. Let's see if we can get a little bit more zip off the face now that it's maybe a little wet and windy where you are in the world playing the game. So speed, yes, speed with the driver is something that, as we're all getting a little bit older, could do with a little bit more pop off the face. There is a couple of crucial ingredients that you today will learn about. First one is how we unload this golf club, the feeling of the swing. Now, if you've watched enough of my content, how that golf club swings down through strike is different for everyone. If you are someone that's got a club face coming in open, your club face looks a bit more to the sky, you are going to have a bit more of a rolled release. The face will turn down and face the ground post strike. If you're someone that has a golf club face looking a little bit more down as that golf club swings, you are going to need to make that face point a little bit more up to the sky. Now, whether you are someone coming in slightly open or whether you're someone coming in slightly closed, that golf club still needs to pass the handle to the best of your ability to give you the maximum speed of your golf swing, whether you like it or not. There is only one foolproof way of doing that, i.e. maximizing the speed, and that is that leverage. Now, as driver, what we tend to do is pull the golf club, whether you think about it or not. You may turn, but the ultimate sensation that is going on, should I say the ultimate detail that's going on, is you are pulling on that golf club. If you didn't pull on that golf club, that club would not move. Some of you will be strong pullers, those of you that have followed my channel for a little while, and some of those of you might still be guys and girls that drive it from the rotation. But ultimately, with the driver, the longer you pull the handle, the more the face will tend to not swing past you. So on this first shot, I'm going to try and pull this driver for as long as I can. We've got the attack angle and club speed up. We've dropped a few of the boxes here to keep it nice and simple. So I'm going to pull that driver as much as I can through strike. I've pulled it. What's happened is TrackMan has not read the data. That was the shot, but it didn't get the data. Let's have another little go at that. So we're going to pull as much as we dare. So that's me pulling as hard as I can, and what you end up with is an angle of attack at a couple down. Now, because of how much I'm trying to pull on that club, because that feels like the right thing to do to generate speed, to hit it hard, what you end up doing is, down through strike, you create a situation where, of course, the lever doesn't unload. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull as hard as I can, but let it swing. I'm going to share with you how we get that golf club to swing in a moment. So I'm now going to pull hard. I'm going to let it swing so that I can now maximize a little bit more club head speed. Didn't quite hit that one that great, but I got a bit more angle of attack and I got myself a little bit more club head speed. So all of a sudden what's happened is that swinging moment down through strike, that feeling that the golf club can swing, really enabled me to change my angle of attack from being 2 down to 4.5 up, which allowed me to get a little bit more ball flight. So again, going for the pull and the swing down through strike, which will again allow me to feel like I can get that angle of attack, just squared it up a bit more, and then I've got even more club head speed. So how do we create this angle of attack, this swinging moment that's going to give me some more speed? This is the first part of a 2-part sequence that will give you more speed with your driver. So if you've seen any junior golfers out there, you will have seen them pulling away hard with their golf club, and what you'll always see is their body trying to back up, very much like the long drivers. If you look at the long drivers in the world, what you see is super long backswings. That's the first thing that really helps you out, but I'm not inspiring that today. Then they pull the golf club down, and then what you see is their body's trying to back up in an effort to unload the golf club. What I want you to do to give you a clear sensation of the chemistry between the head and the handle is to grip the golf club and simply put the club head on the floor, back of your stance. And then what I want you to do is I'm going to apply pressure on that portion of the grip, and I'm going to apply force back in the opposite direction with the grip. And can you see how I'm flexing the shaft towards the ground? That's the sensation that I'm creating here as I'm creating here. So now, what I'm able to do, that sensation is the one that I'm going to create through strike that allows the golf club to swing past me and allows me to create that angle of attack. When you get the angle of attack increasing by the swinging moment of the golf club and not you sitting back and trying to hit up, you really have the opportunity to keep your ball a bit more in line. So pushing and squeezing the shaft into the floor, feeling the same thing, and you can really sense how that right hand and left hand are going to work against each other. That's how we create the angle of attack. But really, for today's lesson, that's what we do to unload the pull. There's the pull, there's the unload. That's the speed that we're looking to utilize out of the loading of the levers. Now, the longer you make the golf swing back, the more narrow you become, and so the more you need to unload it. So I'm now going to make a longer backswing with the same feel on the way down, which now will allow me to unload it and suddenly have a jump up in club head speed. Quite significant because of that longer backswing. So that longer backswing and the unload tied itself up to then giving me the upswing on the golf ball, the upstrike of the positive angle of attack, and the added club head speed. Now, the problem with this power play in driving is that when you get to the top of the backswing, when you're pulling the club hard, it's so easy to pull it towards the target. And if you do that and you pull it towards the target, what you end up doing is that you end up getting a meteoric amount of angle of attack, 8.3. Because you've moved yourself closer to the target as you've pulled this club harder. So what we need to do is, if we're putting more energy at the top of the chain with our hands and arms, what we need to do is offset it with what we're doing down at the ground. So, with the aid of my little wedges here, I'm going to pop these wedges, and you'll find the link for these in the description below, and I've actually done a couple of videos that you might want to check out up in the top right hand corner of the screen there. This now serves as a purpose of when you're pulling on the golf club on the way down, that the wedge serves as a purpose to push back on so that you can keep yourself nicely centered. So we can even hit a shot using these. So I'm going to really crank up my backswing. I'm going to use the wedges in my downswing to push against in an effort to start getting closer to that 110 mark, which I think is quite a nice number, isn't it? Particularly if you're an aging old man like me. So we're going to go longer in the backswing. There's the pull. There's the unload. And the left leg is going to keep me centered so it gives me time to unload it. Long, push, pull, swing. Let's give it a rip. So the length in the swing, the pull and the push back didn't really unload that one too well. You can see that the angle of attack at 0.6 down, I didn't get that golf club unloading particularly well, which lost out some club speed and some direction, of course. I mean, it's not something that is going to feel too normal, but it's a really good drill to start to get that club swinging down through strike here to create extra speed. So long backswing, pull it, push back and swing. Again, you'll feel like yourself pushing back, and now you've got the angle of attack. So that's the sensation that I'm looking to feel with those wedges, which gives me that chance to keep my circle centered. If you're tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves, head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are gloves trusted by tour players and elite amateurs alike. Use my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% off your next order. Go try them out. You won't be disappointed. So let's put that into practice now with a regular shot. Longer backswing, big pull, utilizing my leg, the feeling of the pressure on the shaft down through strike. Come on, baby. No, getting too old, too slow. But the leverage of the length of the backswing, the pull of the club, the push back off the foot, those three ingredients will really start to amp up your ability to create good speed and energy down through strike. The swinging moment of the club down through strike is a key player. But you better be pulling it hard and you better be using the ground. If you haven't got a good grip, it makes it tricky to get it all lined up. Hopefully that's been of some use. Thank you so much for stopping by. That, my friends, is good coaching.